welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a one brand tutorial using LA Colors. I'm so excited to be using their products because I actually reviewed their foundation last year. I will have it linked down below in here, either down below or right here. And I was a big fan of this foundation. I said that it was like amazing for the fact that it was only $6. LA Colors is known for their extremely affordable products. I also reviewed their eyeshadows like I think a year ago, and I really liked them. They were so good. Considering the price again, I was really impressed. So they actually reached out to me recently and asked me if they could send me some stuff, and I was like, me? Like, really? And I was just really excited. And I decided to sit down today because it's actually snowing outside and film a tutorial using all of their products. There are some exceptions in here because I didn't have those products like lashes, mascara, and I think something else, but bronzer I think it was. But I did replace them with affordable products so that you guys can also, in case you're on a budget, try them out as well. I am excited about this, and without further ado, if you want to continue watching, then please go ahead and do so. Okay, so we are starting off with a bare face. I'm not going to be doing my foundation first. I'm actually going to first be doing my eyes. Because we are going to be working with a pigment, I want to make sure that the eyes don't have any fallout onto the foundation. So the first thing I'm going to start off by doing is taking a little bit of the foundation. It comes out. And we are just going to be applying it on our eye area. And the reason I'm doing this is because this is the area where we're going to start with our eyes. So I kind of just want to go ahead and prime around it. This eye is primed, and we're going to go ahead and pick up the LA Colors Sweet 16 color eyeshadow palette. This palette just totally screamed my name. The colors in here are just so fun and so pretty. As you can see, they are just like very wearable shades. You can use them for every day. The colors around here, colors over here, you can definitely use them for like day and night. And I just think it's like a fun, pretty palette. This is like a dream. So pretty. You have your warm colors, you have your cool colors, and you have those whites that I always enjoy. I feel like whites are so essential, or just like really light colors. Okay, so we're going to be starting off with this color right here, and it's going to serve as a nice transition color. Ooh, this is really pigmented. I like to start off with a light color just because I feel like those colors are really good for the transition. And you really want to blow it out, especially when you have my type of eyes where they like fold really easily. You just kind of want it to be a good gradual effect. But I'm really impressed with how pigmented these are. And there's a little tiny bit of fallout on the palette, but it's nothing too intense, which I really appreciate. I feel like when it's just a subtle fallout, it kind of lets me know, okay, these are going to be super pigmented. And then I'm going to use my big Ballin tools blending brush. I love this brush. I feel like it diffuses everything out so beautifully. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit more precise brush, and we are going to be taking these pink shades. So first I'm going to go in with this one. We're literally just going to place it right on the crease. And the reason we are using this pink is because on the lid we're going to be using a really pretty like teal color. So I kind of want to make this like a fun spring look. Wow, I'm actually really impressed. This palette, the pigmentation is there, and it's not blotchy or anything like that, which I was kind of worried about because I feel like there's such a stigma against like cheaper alternatives, and a lot of people are like, oh, I don't really like those because they're probably not as good as buying something at Sephora or Ulta. But you know what? Sometimes the cheaper products can be a lot better. But this is really going on really well, and what I really like about it is that it's true to color. The way that it looks in here is the way that it's going onto my eyes, because sometimes there's colors that look so beautiful on the eyeshadow palette and then you put them on and you're just like, what? This does not translate right on me. Okay, so I went ahead and cut the crease, and now I'm going to be taking this light shade right here, and I'm just going to be placing that all over. It's a nice matte shade. Now we're going to be using this beautiful pigment, which I'm so excited about. We're going to be applying it all throughout this part of the lid. So it's going to look really nice, and I'm ready for this. So after like 10 minutes of me trying to get some pigment out of this little pigment jar, finally got some. And I did kind of like test it out on the back of my hand, and I realized that it isn't a glitter, so I don't think I need the glitter primer anymore, but I'm just going to go ahead and start tapping this on. I hope this works. I don't know. Okay, the color's looking pretty. Yes, That is what I was looking for. Okay, and this is with no Matte Fix Plus. The only reason I think I wanted to add Matte Fix Plus was to transfer it from this little jar onto my lid, because I feel like I wasn't grabbing that much product. But once you pack it on, it is so pigmented. This is like a dream. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I have no Matte Fix Plus on this at all. I don't even think I need it. And they have a bunch more shades of these pigments. They're pressed pigments, so they have a bunch of shades that you can check out, and they're not expensive at all. They're literally probably either like $5 or $6 or maybe even cheaper. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in with the palette, and we're gonna take that like purple pink shade right here again and just kind of add a little tiny bit more on that outer edge. And this shade does have a little tiny bit of shimmer. So I kind of like it because I feel like it kind of makes the look dimensional instead of just being like a matte shade. So I think it's really pretty on. So we're going to leave that eye there, and we're going to move on to this eye. So once I'm done with this eye, I will come back and continue doing the rest of the look. We're going to go ahead and start on the skin. So first things first, we're going to use the First Aid Beauty Vital Greens Face Mist. I love this stuff. I feel like my skin really needed some hydration, which is why I decided to use this. And now I'm going to be taking the LA Colors Truly Matte Foundation. So I have been a fan of this, and I'm really excited that this is a really good find at the drugstore, and it is so inexpensive, because I feel like sometimes, you know, we really, you know, don't want to spend that much money on foundation. So it's good that they make affordable products that work really well on the skin. This is definitely a more thicker consistency. So this will not work unless you truly have that more oily skin. If you have dry skin, this is gonna be like your worst nightmare, because this is a very mattifying foundation. It reminds me a little bit of the Kat Von D foundation, and also the Huda Beauty foundation, but more so the Kat Von D foundation when it comes to the texture, how it's definitely thicker consistency, definitely has really good coverage. And this color Warm Honey suits me really well, so I really like the color. I would say the only downside of this foundation is that it does have kind of like a weird scent. It's not like paint, but it's kind of like a clay scent. I would also really recommend applying this with a sponge. I feel like because it is damp, it kind of absorbs any excess foundation, and that makes it look so thick. So that's my recommendation to you guys as I'm applying it right now. I feel like it's I think it's more better to be used with a sponge. But it's really up to you and your preference. You can definitely also wet your brush with a little bit of Matte Fix Plus to add some extra hydration. But if you really are a fan of kind of using a beauty sponge, then definitely use the beauty sponge. Okay, foundation is on. Looking super phenomenal. Okay, so now we're going to be doing our brows. You guys know how I am with brows. I only like to use Precisely My Brow. So this is going to be a little bit different. This one's in Warm Brown. It's actually very creamy. It has like this creamy consistency. It doesn't just feel like straight up pencil. And then it also has a spoolie. I have to say I'm impressed with the creaminess. I thought it was going to be really brown, but it's actually not like brown. It's definitely more closer to the color that I like to use. And I like how it's retractable, like the other pencils I like to use, so you don't have to worry about sharpening it. Okay, LA Colors, I see you coming for my obsession with Benefit Precisely, because this is really good. I'm just going to go ahead and clean them up once I'm done with a little bit of my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. Okay, so I went ahead and finished the brows, and I have to say I am really impressed with this brow pencil, considering how affordable it is and how pigmented it is, and also how well it really structured my eyebrows and made them look really nice and crisp and just full of life. I really like it, and the warm brown for me worked really well. It looks very similar to like a number 6 for my Precisely My Brow by Benefit, if you guys kind of want to know. It's called the BROWIE WOWIE brow pencil. So I'm just going to be using my Color Pop concealer, and this one is really affordable as well. So I'm keeping all the products that I use affordable, but I'm just going to be applying this right on my under eye using my sponge, blending it out. So if you are looking for an affordable concealer, Color Pop concealer is really good. I like the fact that this concealer is really creamy. It's not thick, so on foundations that are a little bit thicker in consistency, for example, like this LA Color matte foundation, it blends out really seamless because the consistency of the concealer is very hydrating and very lightweight. And then we're gonna go ahead and bake this eye. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and leave the baking on. Okay, so we're gonna be taking the blush palette and I'm gonna be using this pretty color over here. I feel like that should suit me well. Pigmented, as you can see. We're just gonna keep it right here. You don't wanna drag it too far down. Just to kind of add a little bit of color, because I feel like when I don't have a lot of color on my skin, I just look very one-dimensional. So I'm just taking the blush. Wow, the blush is blending really well with the foundation. The foundation isn't breaking apart or anything. The blush is very, very pigmented. And then because I do like to have a little bit of warmth, I am going to go ahead and use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is another affordable product at the drugstore. And we're just going to be applying that on our forehead, just to kind of add that warmth. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and wipe away the bake. And now we're gonna finish off the eyes. So I went ahead and just did some liner. We're not gonna go ahead and do a wing liner or anything because I really want the attention to really be on the eyeshadow today. So we're just gonna leave that blank. So now for lashes, we're gonna be using the Ardell Studio Effects Demi Wispies. I am obsessed. They are the best lashes at the drugstore right now. Do you see how like full and fluffy they are? Like I love them and they're so comfortable. They're like so easy to wear, so I'm just like, yes, give it to me. And these are extremely affordable. They're probably like $5.99. So everything I'm talking about today is on a budget, but we're mainly using LA Colors. I just don't have LA Color lashes. I hope they come out with lashes one day. That would be so freaking cool if they had like the quality of like Ardell's or like just really good inexpensive lashes. I would love to see that because I know they would slay because all the other products are working so beautifully. Okay, so lashes are on and they are looking super duper amazing. I love these lashes. You need to check them out if you haven't done so already. Okay, so now we're gonna be smoking up our lower lash line. I wanted to make it super like fun and dramatic because the top eye is really fun and dramatic. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to the LA Colors little palette that we used, this beautiful palette right here, and we're gonna be taking our Morphe M508, which is a really nice like precise brush to really blend out color down there. And we're going to be taking this color right here, which is the same exact color that we use, so pigmented. And we're just going to be smoking that out on our lower lash line. Okay, so there we have it. And I think we're going to add a pop of color just in the inner tear duct. And we have some really pretty fun colors. I think we're going to go in with this one or that one. But I'm loving this look. We're just going to pop that right here. And for that, I'm using this Sigma E30. It's a pencil brush. And I like to use pencil brushes to pack on that inner tear duct color because it really packs it on right where you want it to instead of like really like blowing it out and making it look a little bit like too much. So that's why I like to use pencil brushes for this type of work. Okay, and now we're gonna move on to our highlighter. We're gonna mix these two together. They look nice and pigmented. Let's see how they perform. Ooh, that is pretty. It definitely has more of that like powdery consistency, but if you were to add just a little bit of Fix Plus, if you kind of wanted to look more wet, let's see how it does. But I mean, that pigmentation right there for just it by itself with no Fix Plus help is really pretty. Yes, the Fix Plus just makes it look more wet if you want that more intense highlight. Okay, so I took a second to look at the colors that I had and I think I'm gonna go with this color right here. This is the LA Colors Matte Liquid Lip and this is in the color Perfection. I mean, this is perfection, so it's suitable. So it's like this really pretty like pink berry lip. I hope it kind of goes with the eye. That's kind of what I'm going for. So let's try it. It smells nice. It's not like anything like strong or anything. It's like a very like subtle scent. So this is the lip on. I'm really, really liking it. I feel like it's like the perfect lip for this eye look. It's nothing like extremely intense, but but it's also not like nude. Because at first I was like, should I do a nude? And then I was like, no. Get out of your comfort zone right now and stick to what you're doing with the eye. Because sometimes I like to do like a very bold eye and then a very nude lip. But I didn't do any wing line or anything too crazy on the eye for me not to want to do something kind of bold with the lip. And I feel like this bold lip is super beautiful and wearable for like the spring. So now that we've made it to the end of the video, I am loving this look. I feel like it turned out so beautiful. I don't want to wash it off. I think I'm just gonna wear it until the night. Thank God it's like midday so I can just actually wear it. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And if you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, because I wouldn't want you guys to miss any of my videos for the world. That being said, I'll be seeing you guys very soon for a brand new video. Bye guys.